All right, welcome to another episode of Minneapolis by Night. This is the vampire venue for those who are keeping track or paying attention. Uh, Tonight at Sanctuary, Jade is busy, frustrated, sitting at her table, her feet up. She's looking over her notes and checking her messages. She's not real happy with the information she's getting. She looks visibly upset. Um, Thankfully, tonight the bar seems pretty quiet. She always found it weird that it always seems to be quiet on a Sunday, but maybe it's just that whole religious thing that kind of gets to people.
Well, Keki is chosen Sunday specifically because it's going to be quiet, which means that there's the least number of humans around because she's got to actually turn off her fancy schmancy stealthy powers. And she sits down at Jade's table.
Jade just kind of looks at you.
Yeah, at the moment, Arcane's still up, so she just sort of blend. It's a very tall-looking chair.
And then she just looks at the chair. Could have sworn it was smaller.
And
she just kind of shakes her head because she thinks she's just having one of those days.
And Keki drops the arcane and wills herself to become noticeable.
Oh shit! She just like, well, hello there.
Hello, because I don't have a picture. She's a girl, a woman of African descent, where bits of her flesh are rotting off, but that's partially covered by skin that's stretched over the rotting bits, and partially by skull makeup.
Nice.
And she's currently wearing a pirate coat and a top hat.
Well, you definitely don't fit in here. What can I do for you?
Well, I was told that you're the one to announce my presence in the city.
She takes a quick look around. I'm gonna do a random perception awareness for her, just to see if anybody's paying attention, because she always is paranoid. Nice. Okay, well, 4 successes. Nobody's paying attention, but she does go. How about we move this to another area and have the discussion?
She'll nod and
she stands up
to lead the way.
Yeah, she stands up and she starts heading for the stairs. You notice she nods to 2 gentlemen as she heads towards the stairs, and they start moving. Once she starts heading upstairs, when you head upstairs after her, the 2 gentlemen she nodded to just basically take a stance right at the bottom of the steps. Basically, she's in a meeting and nobody is to disturb her, kind of thing.
Sweet.
She goes up into the office, walks in, she sits behind the desk, plops her feet right back up the way she had them on the table. So, she looks at you. Well, I have a feeling I know what you are, but I'm not going to get that personal and ask.
That's the way things should be.
So, I probably should warn you, if you haven't been paying attention, there are some Giovanni in the city. I don't think they'll take too kindly to you.
Well, that's why I'm playing by the rules.
Smart move. Well, since you have officially introduced yourself to me, and I am currently the acting prince because I am the next one in line for the power, even though I don't fucking want it. But I am the next.
Politics makes very strange bedfellows, yes.
Oh, no shit.
By the way, quick perception empathy from her.
From my character or yours?
From yours.
Okay. Cool.
Because there's something I forgot to mention that she might have noticed.
3 successes. So.
Yeah, this girl's on a path.
Okay.
She does not. She's letting out the creepy vibes that of someone who has left humanity completely behind.
She just looks at you. Okay. We'll get this done and over with first. You do know you're in a Camarillo city, even with the problems we have. The rules for the Camarilla still remain intact.
I have my ways of not being noticed.
She nods. As long as you can do that, we will have no issues, and I have no problems accepting you into the city and welcoming you here. If you need anything, you can get a hold of me. She pulls out. She is wearing a black leather jacket, by the way. I just couldn't find a good picture of that.
That's fine.
She hands you a business card. All you see on it, it says Jade Wilson. Um, it just says proprietor of Sanctuary now, because she had to change the cards, and then gives a phone number and an email address.
Right.
She goes, the phone number is a encrypted line, so if you need to talk about particular matters that you normally wouldn't talk about over lines, you are more than welcome to. The email is also a secure email, so if you need to send personal information.
Keki looks slightly confused about some of the terms, but then just simply says, "So these are safe,"
Safe, yes.
and puts it away.
Not a techie, huh?
She shakes her head. Just came out of torpor.
Holy cow, that would explain a lot. She smiles. Well, like I said, you're more than welcome in the city. Since you officially came to me and went to introduce yourself, I have no problems with you being in the city. As long as you can follow the Camarilla laws, that's all we ask. With everything going on, we already have a spot problem who want to cause issues and break the masquerade. We really don't want it from our own people.
Maybe you need someone who can make their lives miserable.
We're always looking for people to make their lives miserable.
Keki's gonna smirk a bit at that and say, something might be arranged.
Well, if you can, that would definitely put you in our good graces and would definitely get you a bit of a bonus. Basically, we would overlook certain things that you may require. And she just kind of gives you a look as if to say she's detecting you.
Keki will smirk at that and say, I'm sure I have no idea what you mean.
Smart. Very good. I am one of the harpies officially here. We actually have no seneschal, no scourge, no sheriff. So myself and one other harpy are basically playing all those roles until we have figured out what's going on. We're still not even sure if the other one vying for Princeton is dead. And the Anarchs, as much as this is ironic, the Anarchs have some kind of leader or self-proclaimed leader that is pushing for the title. Don't ask, we don't know.
Keki will nod and say, my name is Keki Johnson, Dread Pirate of Barbados. I have dealt with harpies in the past in Barbados, but you will find no record of my existence.
I'm gathering from their trick you showed earlier.
She nods. Yes, it makes people forget that they've seen me, even while they're seeing me.
So, how long have you been sitting in the bar watching? She smiles.
She'll smirk and say, about a week.
That explains it. Oh, okay.
I didn't even have to cover up my sores because nobody would be able to remember me. She says as she stretches some of the skin away, reveals what she actually looks like on one arm, where everything is rotting over.
I got to admit, I've always been a little weirded out by your plan, but I have no issues with you.
Oh, we like it that way.
I figured as much. Well, like I said, you're welcome to. You are welcome to the city. You are officially recognized within the city. So, if the Giovanni do come a calling, you can come here and they can't touch you because
Excellent.
you've been recognized. So, they really can't say anything.
Excellent.
In addition, if you need a place to stay that is a little more secure during the daylight hours, we do have a couple of locations Not many right now, but a couple locations that are protected, at least from daylight.
My ghoul has an apartment. I'm staying there.
Very well. Well, I can probably talk to one of the few Tremere around that are well, on our side, so to speak, and see if I can't get them to alter it for you if you need to.
She'll nod and say, "Wait till after I've proven my worth."
Fair enough.
So,
All right.
do we have any information on where the Sabbat are hanging out?
A lot of misinformation. Some of the information we have received, the most we know is that at least one of the rumored Sabbat members does have some pretty powerful business ties, both within the city and worldwide. Apparently, he's a huge businessman. So touching him will be a little harder because of his particular contacts. We do believe he probably has some government ties, maybe not here, but he might have some federal government ties for the kind of businesses he runs. I can imagine he has some pretty tight circles.
Got a photo? Or sorry, out of character correction. Do you have a portrait?
I don't know if we do. She looks through her phone. The most we have is a general description. If you ever get a chance to look at the Facebook page, look for Zachariah. Actually, I'll find it for you right now, so that way you have. She'll give a description because I suck at giving descriptions. So that's why I find pictures. Makes my life easier. Find him real quick. There he is. Share real quick so you may see a bunch of crap here for a second.
That's fine.
Him. She gives that description, even down to the gray suit he's wearing with the striped tie.
All right.
Ignore which is he on the side, but yeah. His name is Zachariah Jones. He goes by other names, but Jones is his name.
And I take it he doesn't show his face here.
He has come in a couple of times, but it is a full-fledged Elysium, so he cannot be touched here. That was one of the things that we think was some kind of shady, underhanded dealing done by the previous Harpy. But since it's in play, and since the Sabbat haven't gone fully and broken the rules or done too much of a masquerade breach yet, we've allowed it for now. Plus, we figure if they're going to come in, we might want to be able to keep some kind of tab on them.
Doesn't stop people from following them.
True. And, honestly, if they are going to turn towards the rebellion, that is their problem. We will handle that outside once things settle.
No, I mean, it doesn't stop someone with a certain trick from following them out of Elysium.
Actually, if she's been there about a week, she would have seen him too.
Yeah, that's the point. She's saying I could. Next time he shows up, I'm going to go after him and deal with him outside of Elysium. So
I would be very careful. From what we have been told, whether or not it's true or not, we're not sure. It didn't come from previous Harpy who was a traitor, so he could just be lying his ass off. But he said it was an old clan to Michi. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. But I just figure if you know anything about them, you might want to keep that in mind if you make any moves.
Well, I don't do anything unless I've planned it out. It's what made me very successful in the high seas.
I can imagine. Well, we do have a few shipping lines due to our close connection to the rivers, but it's probably not going to be what you're used to.
The only place in the world that could do what I'm used to is over in Africa, and I don't feel like going back. So,
well, that's fine. Like I said, you're more than welcome here. Other than that, basically, we've just been trying to get things kind of organized and in order. We've had a bunch of newcomers all kind of show up at the same time, so we're kind of keeping an eye out because we don't know how many of these newcomers, and forgive me if you end up getting called in just for us to talk to you. Probably will get called in for both myself and Bo to speak with you just on another level. Bo's the other harpy, just so he at least knows your face. She says that questioning.
She smirks and says, "Oh, I put on my best face for this meeting."
Well, it would be good if he remembered you, because if he forgets, that could be bad. Because if he thinks you're unknown in the city, it will be hard for me to explain how you're known.
That's fine. I'll have my ghoul contact you so that you can arrange a meeting.
Very well. Basically out of character. It's just because I got to wait on Ian. Well,
Yeah,
Ian's,
that's fine. I gotta wait on John for most of Miriam's plot right now. So.
Well, I know he's trying to work on it. I know he just wanted to get the other intros out of the way. So.
That's fine. But also she has anachronism, so she doesn't know how. She doesn't bother to remember the phone numbers. She just hands them all to her ghoul who doesn't have anachronism.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I've got a living Rolodex with potents.
Hey, that always works.
Yes, exactly.
She says, I will warn you, as I said, there's some otter in the city, and we do have anarchs within the city. As much as the anarchs like to cause problems for us, we got to admit the one thing they have been doing is trying to keep Sabat at bay in an odd way. So they've kind of helped, as weird as that is.
I don't play politics.
Okay, that's fine. No, we don't expect everybody to. You may get approached by groups from one side or the other. I'll try and keep my people to leave you alone, but the other.
No, I'm not opposed to working with people. I'm just not planning on joining anybody.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that they may try and pressure you into joining one side or the other and promise you rewards and stuff. I can assure you from at least my side of the table, so to speak, I will ensure that that doesn't happen with my people. I cannot promise the other former prince's people won't do the same. They will be looking for a replacement for their missing prince right now. So anybody with power can be a interesting person to have in their corner. But they will try and drag you in because that's just kindred politics.
Well, I'm sure.
We do have a few who don't take sides, and we have no issues with that. But like I said, there are people who push and drive people nuts.
Keki looks a little bit like she's trying to remember a word, and finally she gets that sort of epiphany look, and she says, I believe the term for what I'd prefer to remain is autarchus.
Okay. She nods. That's fine. We have no issues with that. Like I said, I mean, we do have a few kindred in the city who don't take any side whatsoever. Or at least they haven't made their political standpoint in any way, shape, or form. They've kept to themselves and minded their own fucking business. As I said, the Giovanni might be the only ones to give you issues. There's only 4 full-fledged family members within the city. And she uses the term full-fledged for a reason. I don't know if you know how the Giovanni work, but they have plenty of mortal family.
Right.
Goddamn guys breed like rabbits. Is there anything you need from me while you're here?
Nothing I need in particular. Most of my needs are simply met by you writing my name down.
She gets out a notebook, writes your name down, puts it back, done. She smiles. And actually, I have a great memory, so it really wasn't necessary, but just in case.
She smirks a bit and says, keep hold of that. It may vanish if I'm not careful.
Okay, well, try and be careful, please, because if it vanishes and I forget you were here, we may have to have this talk again. I really, even though I won't know I have said it before, I really don't want to say it again.
Well, I can tell you this is the first time.
Awesome. Good. That makes me feel a lot better. Kind of had me worried that I was talking about the same thing over and over.
No, this is the first time.
Good. But yeah, so I mean, well,
yeah, it's
enjoy the enjoy the city. Tonight, if you want something to drink from the bar, they do cater to our kind somewhat. You just have to be a little cautious about how you word things, obviously.
the
If you
extra
prefer,
red Merlot.
yeah, if you prefer to to do a more personal drinking area, um, the there are some parts in the city that aren't really monitored that you could go to. Um, that you could get away with any uniqueness that you need. Just
I don't
like you
have.
said,
I'm
enjoy.
not very. I'm not very picky on what on who I feed. Oh, dang it!
No.
I forgot some of my flaws that she'd have noticed as well. Um,
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just
It's
going
okay.
over my sheet and I'm like, oh crap.
That's fine. That's fine.
I have Lord of the Flies and Permanent Fangs.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, she's dead, so the flies don't really bother her other than she just kind of waves them away every so
But
often.
you notice her fangs are extended and will not unextend.
Yeah, she sees that, but she figures with the whole skull thing, maybe that's just part of it.
Yeah,
She doesn't
and
know exactly what
also the rotting flesh. So
yeah. So she kind of puts it all together with the whole just.
It's a
rotting
lesser
flesh.
of two masquerade breaches. So
Yeah, she can. Uh, she goes, well, oh, fun. Um, yeah, just try and be careful as much as you can. I mean, we have enough close masquerade breaches right now. We don't need any more. And I really don't want to hunt you down. You seem like a pretty decent woman, and I don't.
By the time something like that happens, everyone will forget I existed, and we'll have to have this conversation again.
Fuck. I hope not. She's not. Well, if that happens, just don't tell me I said this before, and we'll be fine.
You haven't said it before.
See, now I don't know if you're lying.
And she's just grinning broadly.
Well, then if there's nothing else you need from me, like I said tonight, the drinks will be on me, so just go ahead and get what you want. I have taken over ownership of this bar due to its previous owner, which was one of the people vying for the Princeton, has we believe to be has met final death. Nothing's confirmed yet, but for right now, paperwork's already there. So if you need anything, you can always don't hesitate to call me if you need anything while you're out on the streets, or if you can get here. Just remember, it is an Elysium here. You can't be touched. I don't care who.
Excellent.
So you will be safe here. There are a couple other ones. I will. As soon as your ghoul gets a hold of me, I will give him the location, since I assume he's probably better at remembering things. Since you just.
Well, he's been around me long enough that he continues to remember me. He stuck by my side the whole time I was in torpor. He's very sweet.
No, that's awesome. That's good. But yeah, so when he gets a hold of me, I will get him the other couple of Elysiums. There aren't many in the city. There are a couple of neutral ground areas, which, for your case, I would strongly say at least one of them stay the hell away from. It's called the Storm Crow. It is under the control of, it's under the control of the werewolves. And with your uniqueness, they're really not going to like you.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea to risk it.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't think there are many others that you have to worry about. Just be careful going into other places. Like I said, I'll get your Google list of which ones are safe, at least Elysium wise, aside from here, and which ones are okay to go in. Just watch yourself.
All right. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Well, we only are aware of that one spot. If you have ways of trying to determine, I mean, if you feel like you said, following him at one point in time, that's all you. I don't stop anybody from doing anything. Um, if you want to follow him, if you can get maybe some of his cohorts, we'd like to know. We know there's at least 4 or 5 that were mentioned in the previous Harpies laptop. Whether or not they're actual Sabat or he was just pulling our chain, we're not sure.
I can specialize in dealing out a specific kind of pain that will get us the answers we need.
Awesome. Okay. Well, when it comes time, if that is required, I will definitely be calling you then.
Excellent.
Other than that, I mean, if you can think of anything that any of your unique skills or traits that you acquired through your time that you think might be useful in the city,
well,
like I said,
my
phone's always on.
Well, I can listen to the dead and occasionally see the future.
Oh, that's always a fun one. Well, listening to the dead would be good, and I could see why, the Giovanni aren't real happy with you. But, the Giovanni aren't happy with many people, so.
I can also make people temporarily disguised.
Nice. That will definitely probably come in handy. As I said, we're going to have to set up a meeting so at least Bo, the other Harpy, can meet you. And then Bo and I have to have a conversation about the power structure right now. But yeah, once you meet you, everything will be fine and dandy because then you will be have been confirmed by the only 2 Harpies within the city right now.
Excellent. And I'll do my best to make sure that both Harpies remember me.
Please do. We would greatly appreciate it because that's so confusing. I mean, even though I won't know, it's still confusing.
It comes with being something that should not be.
That is true. But yeah, so just do your best to make sure we remember.
I'm going to do my best.
Like I said, if it does happen where you have to make us forget, that's fine.
All right.
Obviously, I give you enough credit to assume you would have your serious reasons for doing that.
She's gonna stand up and she's going to offer a hand.
She stands up and takes her hand, shakes it.
It's notable that she shakes hands by the wrist. The gesture of looking for a hidden knife.
Okay. She thinks nothing of it. You see her don't seem to kind of flinch at that.
All right. And she nods and bows and says, "I think I will have a drink. I'll send Tibbs to order it, and right before he calls."
Okay.
It's better than having the bartender see me like this.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
She grins a bit and says, "Just because I might enjoy what I am doesn't mean I want to flaunt it."
Yeah, that would cause all kinds of problems if it got out to the wrong people.
And with that, she's gonna walk away and turn her arcane back on.
Okay.
And yeah, it's -5 to notice her. So
Nice.
yeah, it's arcanes kick ass like that. It's not like completely invisible like Obfuscate is, but -5 dice to notice her.
Yeah, that takes a lot out. That would,
Yeah.
Let's see, her J,
It's
her
like
perception
it's also
and awareness is 7. She'd have 2 dice to check.
Yeah.
To see you. Yeah.
It's also -5 dice to remember her.
Oh, nice.
But we've had this conversation and you've written stuff down, and she's got to keep it up for a long time for that kind of stuff to fade.
Mm-hmm. Out of curiosity, if that's all you wanted to do, I'll shut it off and then ask the question.
Well, she's gonna watch the area. Her ghoul's going to call and get all the information.
Okay.
Assuming Mr. Old Clan Zemise doesn't show up today.
Nah, he probably won't. I'm not gonna have him show
Okay.
up for a little bit. His name has gotten out too much, so he's gonna lay low for a while when things cool down.
That's fine. Only lead I've got is to hang out in Elysium and wait for him.
No, that's fine. Oh, believe me, there'll be others that show up.
Yeah. I'm gonna be watching and listening. Using that nice arcade to lean in close on other people's conversations, and if she suspects someone is Sabat, she'll follow them and torture them.
Fine. Okay. I do have one quick question. I'll keep it live just for this. How would arcane affect something like eidetic memory or photographic memory?
You'd get a reduced difficulty on the wits intelligence roll to remember.
Okay. I was just curious.
It's still -5 dice, but you get reduced difficulty.
Okay. Just curious.
That's how I've usually ST'd it. Anyways,
That's fine. That works for me. I just wasn't sure. I was going to check later, but I just wasn't sure if there was something specific. But that's fine.
Yeah, and if you keep arcane up for long periods of time, written and photographic records vanish.
Okay, that's fine. I assume they have to be in the same. You have to be in the same vicinity as the rest of them for that to happen.
Yeah, you have to basically be within a decent amount. It's not like it's universal everywhere. It's just
okay. Yeah, yeah. I was like, that would make things real interesting, man. But yeah, okay, I got you.
No,
So
it's because, like she said, she should not be.
Mm-hmm.
And that should not be-ness is screwing with the consensus.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, it's just something I was curious about. So.
Yeah, it's
not a big deal.
Yeah, Arcane's weird. Mage explains it a lot better than Vampire does. It's the Vampire Storyteller's Guide just says, "You have Arcane now."
Interesting. Yeah, so if there's nothing else.
Yep, I guess that's all of it.
Awesome. All right. Well then, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned, and good night.